Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome back for another Mindful Play Monday Live, and we are kicking off the month of August by celebrating the end of summer, getting ready for back to school, and making our own special little butterflies. We're going to be calling this Chasing Butterflies because you can use straws to actually make them fly, and we're going to talk about a couple of different things. We're going to use this as a breathing tool, some eye-hand coordination. You can turn it into a fun little game in your classroom, or if you're doing a summer camp, right at home as well. And of course, the mindfulness aspect of being present and what it means to have those butterflies and those feelings. Sometimes when we get butterflies in our stomach, what that means, what that represents, and getting us ready for back to school. So we're chasing butterflies today. The only supplies that you will need is some construction paper, some scissors, we've got a pencil here, markers to decorate and design your little butterflies. We're using tape. You can also use glue. We're just using tape so we don't have to worry and wait on drying with the glue. And I have a ruler here. You can, of course, just eyeball it. I like to measure to make sure that the middle piece of my butterfly is the right size to go with my butterfly wings. So we'll talk about that. And last but not least are some straws. So each child is going to get their own straw because, let's go back here, when you make your butterflies, we're going to add them to the straws so that you can blow on them and then chase them like so. So the first thing you're going to do is start with a little square of paper. And like I said, I do like to measure. You don't have to. You can just kind of eyeball it depending on how large you want to make your butterflies. We are starting out with a square that's about a little less than 5 inches, because when we draw that butterfly wing design, they're going to end up to be about 4 inches in size. And then we're going to fold it down to half so that when we fold it halfway down, cut out that butterfly wing shape, that it is going to be symmetrical on both sides. Good morning. I'm just getting ready to draw our butterfly shape. So we made about a 5-inch square here, and then I'm just going to take a pencil and make that butterfly shape. Now we have our paper folded in half, so we're just going to make one side of our butterfly wings. So it's kind of like a B shape, like the letter B, with a larger piece on top and a smaller piece on bottom, kind of like that. I'm gonna take my scissors, cut out that butterfly wing shape, like so. And then if you are helping your students or your little ones at home do this ahead of time, you can go ahead and prep that butterfly wing shape for them and then hand it to them already done like so that they can color and decorate and make their butterfly wings any way they like. So we're just going to draw maybe some hearts on our butterfly wings, really anything that you like. Some little circles. You could do rainbows, you could do dots, you could look at pictures of real butterflies and model your butterfly designs off of the patterns you see in nature and the real butterflies. Just make it as detailed or as colorful as you like. Just doing some quick drawings here, maybe some more polka dots around the wings. This would also be a fun time to introduce or review those concepts of symmetry, how butterflies are symmetrical and have the same designs on both sides. So something like that. You're going to then set that piece aside, and next you're going to want a different color of paper. So we're just doing blue for that middle piece of our butterfly and cutting a rectangle. So again, if you are free eyeballing it and not actually measuring, just line up your piece of paper so that it is going to be along that middle piece of the butterfly's wings. And ours are going to be about, 5.5 inches long by about 3 inches high. And I'm actually going to cut this down just a teeny bit because the space that I left in the middle of this particular butterfly is a little bit less. So I'm going to change it to be more like, 2.5 inches. So I'll mark that off. Hopefully you can still kind of see what I'm doing there. Draw my straight line and then cut that out. So this rectangle piece is going to now be the middle piece, that body of our little butterfly. And you do want to try to keep it pretty straight across so that when you roll it up to be the body of the butterfly, the ends aren't poking out, kind of like that one. This one we just kind of eyeballed, we didn't measure, and then you can see the ends, when we roll it up, kind of stick out, which is okay. It's just not as neat. So after you have cut out your longer rectangle for the middle or the body of your butterfly, you're going to then wrap it around your straw, and that's going to give you the correct width to have it fit right onto that straw, like so. Then I'm going to kind of smash it down to make sure the ends are even. So it's like a little scroll almost, and this is going to be the body of our butterfly. I'm going to loosen it gently, and then like I said, if you want to use glue, you can. We're just using tape to save us some time this morning and not have to worry and wait on glue drying. So you can see that one little slip there, that piece that's the end of our roll. I'm just going to take a piece of tape and seal it right up so that it doesn't unroll on us, and kind of flatten it out a little bit. So there's the body of our butterfly. Now this part is important. In order for the straw to get that push behind it when you blow into the straw, you do have to fold down that top part of the butterfly's head, if you will. Make it nice and tight because you want to seal that top part. You can put a little bit of tape on there if you want. You don't really have to, as long as you've folded it down nice and tight. And that's going to create that little air pocket and pressure to blow that little butterfly up. Now you can again decorate your butterfly's body. Put some little eyes, a mouth, and some lines for his cute little body. So something like this, he kind of looks like a little worm. Because he started out as a caterpillar. This would also be a fun little activity to do if you were growing caterpillars, if you did that caterpillar into butterfly kit that you can get online, where you get the caterpillars and get to watch them evolve into butterflies. And then I'm going to line up, let me put this over here so you can see a little better on the yellow. I'm going to line up the body. I just put some tape on the back. Again, you can use glue right into the middle of my butterfly wings and push down gently. I don't want to push down too hard and smash the little pocket there. We want to still have that hole at the bottom for the straw to fit into. So you can see there's our little butterfly friend. And then you're going to take your straw and thread it right on there like so. It almost looks like a magic wand. You could use these to make little butterfly wands too. So now we're going to use these as a talking point. So chasing butterflies, what does that mean? A couple of different things. Of course, you can use these as a breathing tool. So when you have that butterfly with the pocket on there, you can use it to change and monitor your breathing patterns. Focus on taking a big breath, hold it, and then release it nice and slow. See how fast and how far your butterfly can go. You can make this into a game where you have butterfly races. So everybody takes a big deep breath, hold it, and then blow as hard as you can to see which butterfly can go the furthest. You can make a little track on the floor with magnetic tiles or just a piece of tape or even a pillow holding a spot, and see which butterfly can go the furthest when you blow nice and hard, and see if the butterfly can make it to the end of the track. So that's a fun little breathing game, and talk about how when you change the pace and the depth of your breath, what happens to the butterfly, how far it goes and where it goes. The other thing I wanted to use this to talk about is that feeling of butterflies. So a lot of times we talk about, oh, I've got butterflies in my stomach, or I feel like I've got butterflies in my chest, and maybe that's feeling nervous, but it could also mean feeling excited. So especially as we get ready for back to school, we start back in a couple of weeks here, talking about what those feelings like and those butterflies and how we can chase those butterflies. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. It can be a positive thing, just like when you're really excited to maybe go on a trip, or you're really excited to see a new movie or go play with your friends. You can have those butterflies, and chasing those butterflies as a feeling, not only in your chest and in your stomach, maybe when you're nervous, but also as a positive thing. So have a great rest of your week. Tune in for more Mindful Play Mondays throughout August. And if you're getting ready for back to school like we are, good luck with back to school. We will be back with more mindful activities, breathing tools, and fun little easy crafts you can do at home or in your classroom to kickstart your school year. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Happy Monday.